let's check them out again now and duck down to Tasmania, in fact, the west coast of Tasmania, near the town of Strawn, where, of course, a number of people are grouping together, marine biologists and helpers, to try and rescue more than 250 pilot whales who were beached in that area. We're joined now by Dr Kris Carlyon, a marine biologist who's working on this. Thanks for joining us, Chris. I wonder if you can just firstly bring us up to date. How many mammals were stranded? How many have you been able to free, and what situation you're looking at now?
Yeah, hi Chris. Good to be here. It's a complex one, this one. It's one of the trickiest mass strandings that we've dealt with down here, to be sure. So in terms of numbers, we've had animals spread across multiple sites. You're looking at some vision now, some animals stuck on a sand flat inside Macquarie Harbour on the west coast, and we've got a group there of up over 180 and maybe even 200 animals. In that location, on the location on your screens now, that's Ocean Beach. We've got a number of animals there as well. So all up, we're talking about over 250, a very big event. We've got lots of live animals to deal with, but a very, very challenging location. So we've been at it all day. Huge mobilisation of staff, volunteers, other agencies, but we've made some good progress today. And
there are reports that you've lost about 70 animals. Those that you've freed, what's the reports on them? Do they go off, or do they tend to hang around waiting for the other whales?
It's a really good question, and we've got a bit of both actually. So this location is extremely tricky. We've got some unpredictable tides. We've got some barometric tides, which mean that tides are reliant on barometric pressure to function. And so we're waiting on some good windows to start moving animals out of the harbour, and we have to move those animals through a really narrow channel called Hell's Gates at the mouth of Macquarie Harbour, and that's proving to be a challenge. The ones that we've got off the sandbar and moved outside of the heads, some have headed out to sea and swum really well, and we lost them to sight. Others are still milling around outside the entrance to the harbour. So, look, all fairly typical and not unexpected behaviour from animals that have been aground for quite some time. But look, we're giving those animals every chance. They're now going to have to go through another night. Those animals still stuck in the harbour and on the sandbank, but we'll be at it again at first light tomorrow, and hopefully we can have some more success.
Now, are you physically trying getting them onto mats and dragging them out with boats, or are there a variety of methods used, and do you have all the resources that you need?
Yeah, look, this is a little different to our normal scenario. So if in the past with mass strandings, most of them tend to be high and dry on a beach where we can access really quite simply, so we can mobilise and get lots of people. This one, they're offshore and stuck on sandbars where access is difficult. So it's all vessel based. We do have some people in the water close by to animals, but we need some specialist expertise there. So the tactic that we're using, and we trialled a number of different options, but the one we're going with and we're having success with is using manpower to get those animals that are closer to the deeper water off that sandbar. We're bringing them alongside vessels that are being really kindly donated by the aquaculture industry down here. For this, we bring them alongside, we sling them to the side of the boat or support them alongside the boat, and then we very slowly motor them out a couple of kilometres to Hell's Gates and beyond, and there we release them and monitor them. So, yeah, time-consuming effort. It really is one at a time, but we've made some good progress today. We've settled on a method that works, and yeah, we're hoping to pick up where we left off tomorrow and have some more success.
Extraordinary stuff, Chris. And just briefly, finally, this is a regular occurrence every migration season. I understand you always get some beachings, but of course this one is on a much larger scale.
Yeah, so Tasmania is a bit of a global hotspot for mass strandings. So These guys, these longfin pilot whales, they're not migratory. They tend to be a bit more temporary or a bit more transient, and are generally found in much deeper waters off our west coast. So they feed in deeper waters off the shelf edge. For whatever reason, something's brought them in close to shore, and they've got themselves into trouble in the really complex bathymetry outside of Macquarie Harbour. We do tend to see a number of mass strandings most years in Tasmania. We are a little bit of a hotspot. Longfin pilot whales are one of those species that we see most often, along with sperm whales and some of the dolphins. But yeah, we've had plenty of practice with pilot whales over the years and have some good methods. This one is testing us a little bit. It's quite different to most of the strandings we've done previously, and it is at the upper end of the scale. So yeah, fair bit of work to come, but yeah, look, we've made some good progress today, as I say.
You got a hell of a job of work ahead of you, Chris. Thanks so much for bringing us up to date, and good luck with the rest of it.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Dr Kris Carlyon there. It's Strawn on the west coast of Tasmania. Just very distressing scenes, those, but great to see people freeing those pilot whales. We'll see how they go over the next 24 hours.